What's going on, everybody? It's F1 with you once again, and once again we are here with the MSR. That's Max Speed Racing. You are not in the know. And tonight is going to be an interesting one, racing at the Hungaroring, Hungary, and this is going to be a difficult track with less downforce than we've had in the past, so that should make for a very interesting race this evening. Another interesting note of fact is Pinfold will not be racing this evening after last week's mishaps. Could not get everything prepared and back up and running, so we are down one Mercedes. I'm sure Angry is going to be looking to pick up the mantle to make up for a little bit of what's missing as our first car goes out. Actually, we have two out. Jules out on the hot lap, or on the out lap, excuse me, as well as Mr. DJ CJ, who ended up being last week's driver of the day for the league, so congratulations on that. Rogue is also out, and for those that are confused by that, as you see his name now, and I'm just learning this myself to be honest with you, his name is Racer in Welsh, if I remember correctly, and so, but his name used to be Rogue when I raced with him, so it's just kind of easier to remember somebody by the name that you always called them. IG Lines is on his out lap. Sky out lap, very much expecting to see more blistering speed from him this week, and Rodriguez is also out on his hot lap. Mr. DJ CJ now doing it. Driving his car in anger, trying to put down a fast lap, a banker if you will, early in the session, and you saw there a big wiggle, and that's going to be a problem for these cars this evening. Is the downforce is less than it has been in past years, and so in practice, everyone, including myself, because I do practice with these guys, really losing the back end in certain corners, just not able to get the power down as well as keeping it under control, or while keeping it under control, as Mr. DJ CJ pulls into the pit, dropping down to Rodriguez on his hot lap. Looking really good through this section of the track. Here's where things get all twisty, and if you're not careful, again, you can lose it. As you will see again this week, these curbs are low enough that you can really attack them. That's not the issue, at least most of them. That's not going to be an issue this week. Again, this week it really just comes down to there being so much less downforce than in past races that getting that power down is going to be, you're going to be riding a knife's edge trying to do that. Rodriguez jumps to P3. Let's check out who our leaders are so far. So Jewel with 1:16.1. Rogue, a very close second with a 1:6, about half a second off, with a 1:16.6. Rodriguez with a 117.9. Sky, surprisingly, with a 118.1. Angry with a 119.2. Running the medium tires so far. And therein is going to be another one of the big questions for the week, or for this week, is what tires everyone going to be wanting to start on. The hards are just too slippery, I think. I don't think you're going to be seeing anybody that's starting on the hards unless they're being just super brave. You're going to need some more rubber down on the track before those really start to work. Excuse me, my throat is bothering me. Pardon me for that. Couldn't grab the mute button fast enough. Let me grab the off drop here. And get back in it. The mediums aren't bad once you get them up to tip. They were doable in practice at least. The softs should be the better tire to start with, for sure. But I at least found them extremely slippery, as almost everyone is in the pit. DJ CJ is coming in, or coming out on his hot lap on the soft tires. And starting his hot lap. What I want to do is see somebody running these soft tires that are new, and I'm thinking we've got that here with IG as he's on his out lap. Let's see what he does with his hot lap. So we're gonna stick with him and see what kind of grip he's getting early on these soft tires while they're still a little cold. By the time he starts his hot lap, they should have been should have some good temperature in them. At least that's what I'm hoping. Okay, here we go. Big slip right there. I wonder if that throws off his thought process here. Boom. The DRS is open. Mr. DJ CJ with a 115.9 or 8, I think that is 8. Sorry, I couldn't see it through the glare. IG and his Ferrari. Looking good right now, but we're coming up on the twisty bits here as he gets a big wiggle coming out of that. You saw the rear end just really stepped out on him, and that's going to be the problem of the day, I think. And again, outside of track limits. So even the soft tires are just not providing the grip that everybody is really going to want to have. And as he just ends it with a spin into the barrier, that is so unfortunate. I feel very bad for IG there. But he will have the race to make up for it. Let's see what Jewel is doing. Again, this is a good shot to see how the tires are wearing, as Jewel does 115.4, jumping DJ CJ by about half a second, a little less. Let's see what Rogue is going to do. decides to step into the commentator box and check out this race as well. Let's climb on board with Rogue. Check out these inputs. So I'd like to draw your attention to a steering wheel now. As another driver steps out of the way, always a good thing to see. Momentumly driving. Braking just after the 100-meter marker. Inputs looking really good. No sawing at the wheel thus far, but this isn't the place. This part of the track is the worry. That it's sector 2 where things just are going to get really crazy for everyone. Starting about now. Let's see what he does. Through the chicane, very smooth. Really good on the wheel. I think he's going to be happy with this lap, at least with the control he had over his car. Really managing his throttle control coming out of as Cotton gets disqualified for going the wrong way on the track. It can be difficult when you get turned around, and the FIA will really ding you if you're driving backwards on the course, even if you're not on the tarmac itself. If you're in just the grass and driving backwards to get spun back around, it can cost you a disqualification, as we've just seen. So let's check out CJ up here. See if we can kind of get a comparison as he sits in P2 on how he is with his wheel. Apologize for that, I forgot to turn this off. Well deep after he almost at the 50-meter board. I'm not sure what happened there. It seems like he slowed way down. Here we go, and there he goes. Very dangerous. Just barely touched that grass, and it sent you right around. As everyone else is sitting in the pits, except for Rose. Looks like he may be heading back to the pits right now. Sky jumping in his car, jumping out for his outlap. Looking out for this yellow flag. Let's see if we can see anything. Nope, it goes green. Right there, big twitch. I don't know if his front didn't catch the grass, but his rear may have. He's really flirting with the grass. That's dangerous. Your tire spins up a little bit, and it's going to send you around. As he comes up on another flag here in Sector 3. With just about 2 minutes and 45 seconds is left in this qualifying session. Again, he's also at the 50-meter, board. Drivers are slowing down a lot more than I would expect through there. At a turn 3. Kind of surprised, but whatever works for you to get that hot lap in, to get that low time, trying to beat a 1:15.4. I will be bringing up all the telemetry data for the race. Oh, and a big wheel spin there. That's going to hurt. Let's see if he gains a spot over Rodriguez up into P6. P7, 117, or excuse me, 116.6. Board with Rodriguez now. That felt very cautious, but maybe cautious is the way to play it right now. As the race goes along, these cars will start to feel better. Must be a good lap for Rodriguez. Let's get up here and see what the Huggy Bear is doing. Haven't seen him all day. Braking at the 50-meter marker there, but also squeezing it pretty wide. And I guess that's the danger of it, of that late braking. Compared to someone like Grove, who's braking a little bit just after the 100 board. And there goes Huggy, and just like that, out of qualifying. How unfortunate, but it is the end. Sky will be gaining anything. Let's see what BXT N90 is doing. New racer for me. Not to say he's new to the league, just I've not seen him race at this point. Sitting free in P3 with a 116.1. Looking to improve on that. Very few people. No one, this is a golden opportunity for him if he can do it. And he does jump DJ CJ up into P2. He'll be very happy with that, I'm certain. And we are just about on for the race. Remind everybody that's watching, if you are interested in racing in an F1 2021 league here on the Xbox, there are seats open here in the MSR. That's F1with Max Speed Racing. If you are on the Xbox itself looking, look for Tenfold. That's PENF0 LDD. And on Discord it's MSR Max Speed Racing. Let's run through the positions real quick. Jewel in P1 with a 115.4. BXT, a 115.7. DJ CJ, a 115.8. Very close there. Huggy Bear with that very unfortunate crash, and we're not going to make the time with a 116.3. And hopefully you are looking through there and being able to catch all the drivers that I spent too much time on other things, causing me to miss shouting their names out. Again, expecting a super exciting race tonight. As you saw, very slippery, especially if you touch that grass. If you touch that grass with your wheel tire, you're almost guaranteed to go around. And so that will be the danger of the evening. Those that keep it clean can stay facing the correct direction for the entire race. Those are the people that you are almost guaranteed to see running at the front come the end of this race. So here we are beginning the formation lap. Excuse me. Let's go through your lineup here. Fortunately, I can't give you times. But first thing we're going to do is get everything set up. And full track map. So P1 is Jewel, BXT, excuse me, P2, DJ CJ 3, Huggy Bear 4, Rogue 5, Sky 6, Rodriguez 7, Angry 8, Red missed him the past couple of races in the 9th, IG 10, Cotton 11th, and King is bringing up the rear in P12. Once again, unfortunately, Kinfold was not able to make the race, but we are expecting to see him back next week. As we start the lineup, we are going to see what we have going on here. Forgive me, I'm messing around with it. Again, I haven't done this in quite a while outside of the next, or outside of the last few races. How's it going, Geekmaster? Welcome to the stream. And the lights are out and they are off and away. BXT jumping Jewel in the first corner, or the first sector here. Really pushing. Actually, let's jump on board here. Try and get an idea of how everyone is pulling this. So let's go. As you see now that BXT has jumped up to P1. Sounds like it's taking it really easy. Looks like it might rain this evening. Excuse me, Jewel in P2 now, dropping from that first position. He might be happy to run here right now. Kind of looking to see what the car ahead of him is doing and how the car ahead of him is doing it. As we already have a safety car, and there you have it. That is why everyone is going so slow. And with that, there are 2 cars out of the race on lap 1. King and Sky both out of this race. I wish that there was a way that I could go back and check the replays to see what happened. Unfortunately, there's no function that I know of to be able to do that, as the cars begin to stack up behind the safety car. So let's check out the revised order. BXT now in P1, Jewel P2, DJ CJ holding station in P3, Huggy Bear also holding station P4, Rodriguez up 2 positions in P5 as the rain begins to fall. Angry Scotsman again 2 spaces up in P6. Red Mist up 2 places in P7. Cotton up 3 places. The big forward mover in the race right now in P8. IG up 1 space in P9. And Rogue unfortunately dropping 5 whole spaces into P10. And again, King and Sky are out of this race after some sort of incident in P1. So, let me give you an idea of the situation that we find ourselves in right now as we walk right around with BXT. The DRS was never enabled, right? So, one really good way of measuring whether or not you need to get off your soft tires for rain is to have the DRS turned off, disabled during the race. So the question right now is, will the race stewards turn DRS on after 3 laps after this safety car, or will they just leave them off, leave the DRS disabled, trying to figure out, or predicting that it's just going to rain, so there's no reason to enable it, to only have to disable it a little bit later. I have no idea of the answer to that question, but that is the question that we are looking at right now. Let's jump to the back of the pack and see how far back Rogue is, as the safety car is coming in this lap. Rogue seems to be catching, 2 have caught the pack, so that's good. You can see here BXT really backing the pack up, really controlling it. Most of you will know the saying that yellow flags breed yellow flags. As BXT is off to the races, let's jump 1 car behind him and just see what the fight is looking like. You're going to know that as BTX gets a little loose out of turn 1, you're going to know that this is a really good chance for yellows to breed more yellows Let's jump back another car and see what DJ CJ is looking at, as he has a bit of a gap, but the two front runners are really fighting right now, allowing DJ CJ to come up and engage in this fight himself. Huggy Bear not too far behind, not wanting to lose contact with these guys. I know a lot of these guys right now must be thinking back to last week's race and remembering that there were a lot of mistakes made as far as switching over to the wet tires or the intermediate tires just a little bit too soon. Let's jump back to Rodriguez and see where he is on things. Rodriguez has fallen significantly back. There's a substantial gap as DJ and BXT are swapping fast laps. Cotton, if you remember last week, we talked about Cotton. He's happy to sit back, relax, and see what goes on during the first half of the race so that he can really attack and make his presence known throughout the second half of the race. I have no reason to believe he's not doing that again this week. IG right under the rear wing of Cotton. Red also up in the fight. Rogue a bit behind by about 7 seconds now, and Angry now bringing up the rear in P10 as Rogue goes wide and Angry goes around. That's going to get people thinking. That's stuff like that is going to get people thinking. Is it time to maybe switch over to the intermediate? I think Angry, let's jump over to him. Oh, Angry is already on the intermediate. That's why he's back. Did he jump the gun with that? Sitting on a 3-second penalty. What's going on, Plank? Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, Scotsman is not in the race this week. He's having some technical issues, so he was not able to race this week. No way to redeem himself. As you can see, though, here, Angry, did I say Angry? Evil Scotsman is not in the race this week. As you can see, Angry is in the race, trying to redeem, trying to hold it up for his team, but looks like he might have jumped on those intermediates a little bit too soon and is not finding the grip. I think he's going on to the mediums now. Let's see. Not sure. Yes, he is on the mediums. So that is unfortunate. That's 2 pit stops in the time span or race length of 1 lap. And now these mediums are going to be cold, and so it's just going to compound the issue. And DRS has just been disabled, so now Angry is going to want to come back in and switch back to the intermediates. How unfortunate. 3 stops in the matter of 2 laps, as we see BXT jumps into the pits, Jewel in the pits, DJ CJ's in the pits. Everybody's switching over to the intermediate tires. Huggy staying out. Oh no, Huggy's already on the intermediate tires. He must have jumped in the pits a little bit earlier, as is Rogue. So everybody is moving over. Let's actually check out and see where everybody is on tires. So here we go. Huggy and P1 intermediates. Rogue P2 on intermediates that are 3 laps old. So he's been on the intermediate. He may have jumped the gun on the intermediates, but made it work, right? So good on him. BXT and P3 also on the intermediates, just getting on those. We saw Jewel come in at the same time as BXT, also on the intermediates, as well as DJ CJ. All 3 of these drivers came in at the same time. These were the front 3. Now they're going to be fighting to get that back. Not sure how Huggy jumped the entire pack, but he obviously did. Cotton 2 on the intermediates. IG intermediates. Red Mist suffering on the white, or on the soft now. The white tires are the hard tires. I don't think anybody's going to be on those. And yes, he is coming into the pits. I thought for a second he was going to try to stay out. That would have been great. And wow, as I just say, nobody's going to be on the white sidewall hard tires. Rodriguez is on just those and just jumped onto those. This had to have been some kind of mistake. It's an easy mistake to make when you're coming into the pits, and if you don't have the timing of your pit distance down and you don't already have it set up to where you want your team to switch to the tires that you need to be on, it's easy to act for them to put you on the incorrect tires, which I have to believe is what happened here, and that is very unfortunate. What that will do, though, is give Angry an opportunity to jump Rodriguez if he can be fast enough. He's a bit far behind. Rodriguez having a nose changed. And there, no, that wasn't Angry. I don't know who just passed. I just saw someone pass. Oh, right now, Rodriguez is being lapped. Angry just coming onto the front straight where Rodriguez is just coming off of it, trying to not be in anyone's way. Good for you, Rodriguez. Way to keep your peace of mind and understanding of the fact that you're not in the race that those guys that just passed you are. Yeah, Angry suffering from that distance back, feeling very much in no man's land when right now he definitely is going to need somebody to help pull him along as we lose Jewel. I think this is going to be a race of attrition, guys. It was already bad. No, they have hybrid turbo engines, Link. I'm glad I knew the answer to that. But no, they're not. Actually, they do have a hybrid turbo engine in them. I believe I'm remembering that correctly. Their engines change so often, the rules as far as all that goes changes so often, it can be difficult to keep up with. But like I said, Jewel is out of the race, surprisingly. Did not expect that. I think this is going to be a true race of attrition. The track was already very slippery without the rain. Now with the rain washing all that rubber off the track, it's just going to be 100 times worse. So let me try to help you out with a little bit of information. If you're looking at the screen now, you see the big three in the middle bottom. That's the gear that the driver is in. To the left of that, obviously it says the RPM. And then to the left of that, we are under a safety car for fuel mishap. But again, to the left of that, you're going to find the ERS, the Energy Recovery System. That gives the engine a big punch of power when under use, but you need to charge it during the race, right? You don't want to be out of it. It catches a little bit of charge under things like braking. Your best making it obviously making it to where your best bet for charging is the corners, and that's part of the whole. If I'm remembering correctly, that's all part of the whole hybrid turbo system. It's actually quite. So back up to the front. Let's see where everybody is. Huggy in P1. His intermediate tires are just 4 laps old, so no worries there. Rogue in P2. His intermediate tires are just 7 laps old. Again, not an issue, but these are the oldest tires on the track right now. BXT, 3 lap old intermediates in P3. DJ CJ, remember, came in at the same time as BXT, 3 lap old intermediates. Blinds in P5, 4 lap old intermediates. Cotton, 4 lap old intermediates in P6. Red, 2 lap old intermediates in P7, hoping to catch up to the pack during the safety car to be a real threat. Rodriguez, who unfortunately is a lap down, 1 lap old intermediates in P8. Angry, who is unfortunately 2 laps down, 2 lap old intermediates in P9. Who's went into the pits? Cotton goes into the pits. That's a Williams livery, if correct. But there may be a special livery. Why is Cotton coming into the pit? Oh, he lost his nose. He lost his nose. Hi, Rowley. Please be good. Sorry, my puppy just came into the room. Yeah, Plank, the road conditions are nasty, and the unfortunate thing for these drivers is that even in the dry, with the rule change this season, or this year, there was less downforce, meaning less grip anyways, and the drivers were struggling on. Excuse me, my puppy can't go out. These drivers were struggling on even the softs, so for them to be on the wet, and right now I'm imagining some of them are thinking, should they jump over to the full wets and not just the intermediates? So that's going to be the blue banded tire. I can't tell right now. I'm not really seeing any puddling, but if you make the determination And here's what everybody is trying to work out right now. If you make the determination that the rain is going to keep coming and the puddles are going to start forming on the track as we go green, and Huggy just got a huge jump. Look at the jump that he took over Rogue. If you, well, it doesn't matter now. If during that safety car, you would have determined that the track was just going to keep getting wetter and wetter, start puddling, you may have taken the risk to jump onto the full wets and suffer through a couple of laps. You wouldn't want to do more than that outside of the correct conditions, and maybe jump the entire field as they came in. And who's around now? Not seeing anyone, and everything looks to be all cleared up at this point. Why are they not showing angry 2 laps down now? They didn't get to go around. I'm just not sure. Huggy seems to have found real comfort on these intermediates, not seeming as cautious on these intermediate tires as everyone else. And if that's the case, he's really going to be in the catbird seat right now, as BXT is trying to catch up to Rogue. Another interesting situation. See, rain just brings us all these situations, all this dynamic. You want to get right behind the driver in front of you. Under dry conditions, you kind of do. The dirty air can affect you pretty bad, or pretty good, bad. But right now, under wet conditions, under there, you're going to not only be in the dirty air, but you're going to be in the rooster tail of the car behind you, which is going to absolutely blind you. And so passing becomes, just from a standpoint of being able to see, that much more difficult. Everything just works against you in the rain, but if you can get it under control, you can figure it out. If you can find that grip that you need, make it work for you, you're going to be just really sitting pretty. Let's see where DJ CJ is, just a bit back, as BXT looks like he's getting ever closer to Rogue. I'd like to really be able to show you the rooster tail and how it is in this car, but this camera angle, and unfortunately we get a camera angle like this or this camera angle, nothing more, unless I'm missing something. This camera angle has you sitting above the driver, as you can see, his helmet is below. Whereas if you're sitting in the car and the rooster tail is just pounding you in the face, so you have all this mist, right? This white mist just in your face, making it very hard to see. And that's what makes the rooster tail so dangerous to these drivers. But man, GTX is really gunning for it right now. Question starts to become for Rogue. So Rogue has clean air in front of him, right? He's got the rain dropping on his visor, but not the mist, not the white mist shrouding him, right? So he's sitting good, but there's a pressure that he's feeling right now, right? And some drivers can handle it, some drivers can't, but the pressure is, will the driver behind me who's pushing up to me make a mistake and hit me, right? That's the thing. You know that they can't see, right? The rain light helps a little bit, but not always. The red flashing light on the back of the Formula One cars. Formula One cars don't have brake lights. That red flashing light is the rain light, and it also lets you know if they're in energy recovery mode under dry conditions. But under wet conditions, the red light flashes, letting you know it's a rain light in the car. Trying to give you an idea of where the car is. As red mist heads into the pit, heading out of the pits now. Not sure what happens, but switched onto another set of the intermediates. I'm curious if anybody will be going. Like, the rain seems kind of steady right now, and with that steady rain, if these tires, these intermediate tires, are shuffling enough water off the track, right? The grooves in the tires gather water and spit them off the track. That's what they're designed to do. Is it going to keep the track from puddling? Which the drivers are really hoping. What the drivers really hope for is that it starts raining. They shuffle this water off the track and get a dry line. But because the rain is continuing to fall, what you really don't want are puddles, and you don't want to have to come in with blue Band-Aid, full wet tires, which can dissipate. I'm trying to remember here, it's been a while, something like 25 gallons of water per lap, I think it is, per tire per driver. So they can really clear up some water, but the unfortunate thing about that is it overheats them as well. Those grooves allowing the edges of the groove scrubbing off, heating up the tire, dissipating that heat through the tire and making the grip worse as we go along. So Rodriguez really struggling back here through the turns. I wonder what his setup is, if his wing settings are just so far off that he's catching no grip through the corners in the wet here. As we go to Angry, who just saves it from putting it into the wall. Better that than hitting the wall, I guarantee you. Huggy up by close to 4 seconds at this point from Rogue. BXT, excuse me, keep getting that mixed up. Dropping a bit back from Rogue. Rolling between a second and a half back. Rogue on 15 lap old tires. BXT on 11 lap old tires. What you may be seeing here is a matter of tire management. Again, Rogue not being in dirty air, he's not going to be sliding his front tires as much as BXT will be. Making Rogue's tire management quite a bit easier. Cotton on just 6-lap-old intermediate tires behind BXT might be looking to do something. Again, we've explained it to you. Type of driver Cotton. He's methodical. He waits to spot opportunities, and I think he's seeing one now. I think he's seeing BXT struggle on these tires. At least his front tires kind of pushing through corners, and Cotton is just looking to maximize on that, looking to take advantage of any mistake right now. He knows there's still a good 15 laps left in the race, right? So he can wait a bit before he has to do anything. And angry with another 3-second penalty. Let's check out the penalty. Remember last week, the penalties were just gruesome. Everybody catching them. But this week, as you can see, angry with 6 seconds. IG with 3. As Cotton has a big twitch there. And we just lost Red Mist. I wish it would let me go to him, even though we lost him. He may be off the track already, though. And the safety car is out yet again. Yellows breeding yellows. Everybody. What? This can't be right. Why would CJ be on medium tires? This can't be right. I'm sorry, that's thrown me completely off, but it is. Only thing I can think of is that he got a message from his engineer saying that the rain has stopped and he's jumping on these medium tires super early, but it is super early. Even if it's not raining, it's hard for me to tell because there's still going to be drops kicking up off the track and hitting the camera on the car. I'm absolutely stunned right now. Utter confusion right now, and it's the more cars in front of you, the worse it's going to look, of course. This is a bold move. If he can make it work. Okay, so I'm going to explain what I believe he's got going on here. I could be wrong. As Angry also switches one to the medium tire. So the rain must be stopped right now, right? Again, that will be hard for me to tell because I'm looking through a camera. Let me show you. Wrong button. Let me show you here. So you see the very top of the car there, yellow and black, right? Kind of looks like a T or another wing or something. That's the housing for a camera. The camera that we're looking through here, that's the housing for that camera. So any water coming up off the track is still going to hit that camera. That's what we're looking at. Still going to hit that camera. Hard for me or us as spectators to tell if it's still raining. The best bet is, your race engineer saying, hey, the rain has stopped. So what I think both DJ CJ and Angry are doing here is hoping that the guys that stuck to the intermediate tires, again, are pushing that water off the track, causing a dry line to form. I don't see it at all right now, right? And if we get into the mix a little bit right here, yeah, it's not happening, right? What I'm looking for is the track to be, there to be a line around the track that is a different color, right? So it's going to be a lighter gray, meaning it's dry rather than wet. Oh, I thought BXT was going in for a second. Yeah, I don't see that drying line, not even a little bit. And without that drying line, and it's going to be harder the slower you go, right? The faster you're going, the higher into the air the water gets thrown and then blown off the track. Under a safety car, it's not going to happen very easily. Especially as you can see, people are weaving around, going off of the racing line a lot just to maintain some heat in their tires. So, yeah, I'm confused by it. It seems way too soon to me, but maybe both Angry and CJ know something that I am not noticing just by spectating. You know, maybe they're feeling something in the grip. Maybe the intermediates were starting to feel a lot more slippery, and they felt like going to the mediums was the way to go. See, now, let me give you another idea of just race tires in general. So right here you can see the medium compound tire, right? So medium falls between the super soft compound tires and or not super soft, the soft compound tires and the hard compound tires on these mediums. You know them by the yellow band, right? But as you can see, there are no grooves on the tire. And Lines is now out of this race. That's 5 drivers out of this race. They're racing? I didn't see a notification. Yeah, they are. I absolutely didn't see the notification. But let's try and get back to what I was saying. So you can see these tires are perfectly smooth. Even in regular driving, right? Regular life driving, you were safer on tires that are perfectly smooth, right? No grooves when the road is not wet, right? There's more contact with the road, giving you a whole lot more grip. And but as you can see here, you see tires a little more akin to what we have when we're just driving on the road. And actually the wet tires would be even more so, to have deeper grooves, better channels. Which these tires, these green banded tires, the intermediate tires, So somewhere between the full wets and dry tires, the grooves are pretty shallow, but they still work well on a track that has not got a lot of standing water on it, right? Again, the full wets would be something more akin to what we use on the road every day. And the reason those are the legal tires on the road and not the race tires, which are actually safer in almost everyday use, is because those tires become absolute garbage when it's wet. There's no grip. They can't grip the road. And so better to have something for all conditions than just one condition that you would have to not drive when it rains or change all your tires, which wouldn't be an easy thing to see. So just a crazy thing as everybody is doing it. Everybody's going in for the medium tires. So now, what everybody will have noticed is that this is working for CJ and and Angry, right? They're not careening off the track every corner, so they're definitely switching. And I can see now that it is definitely not raining. Saw just instances there where the cameras didn't get hit with any water. That's not, rain is not falling from the sky. The water that you can see hitting the camera now is definitely water being thrown up from the track. Now you can actually see a drying line, but it's very hard to see. Right? So let me show it to you. It's easier on a straight scene because it's a place where people aren't moving around so much. But you'll be able to see a line forming that is a lighter shade of gray or a lighter shade of black, how you see. And CJ just put in a fast lap, so yeah, now is the time to be on the race tires, the dry tires, but I'm surprised nobody with this amount of time left in the race went to the softs, because they're going to be faster. Again, the problem with me just observing CJ is still having to be really careful through the track. Just listen to the car. You can hear, and also you can see. So again, 4 is the gear he's in. You see the miles per hour to the right of that. To the right of that, you see 2 lines. One is green. The upper one is green. The lower one is red. That's his. The upper one is his acceleration, how much he's pushing on the accelerator, and the lower one is his brake, how much he's pushing on his brake. You can see he's not going flat out on the accelerator, being very cautious. But you can also hear that in the car. Then boom, he's on the accelerator full. He's lifting. Now he's full on the brake, but he's got to be careful with that. You don't want to lock those tires up. Cars do not multitask well. They can either go fast in a straight line, they can turn really nicely, they can brake really nicely, but they can't brake and turn well at the same time. They're not good multitaskers. So you don't want to be locked up. As BXT gets a big penalty, a big drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. It wasn't a full safety car. It's virtual safety cars, and that's a difficult thing too if you're not in the know to maintain a certain speed while under the virtual safety car. And yeah, VXT catching just an absolutely huge drive-through penalty for that. So Huggy Bear is a full-on 11 seconds behind DJ CJ. Now, this is where his strategy is paying off. Talking about DJ CJ. He got on early. He made it work, right? It hurt. You can see that it hurt as Cotton takes fastest lap with a 121.2. You can see it was hurting Mr. DJ CJ. But what he was waiting for was that time when the other drivers were going to be coming in, switching to the same tires. And that was just going to always promote him through the ranks unless he was so far back. But he wasn't. He was able to maintain a decent distance even though he was behind. I want to say he was somewhere around 4th or 5th when after he switched. And now it's promoted him, and he's in P1 by now at this point 10 seconds, and all he has to do is maintain that, right? Or he doesn't even have to fully maintain it. He just has to make sure that in the 6 laps that there are to go, sorry, I confused myself and I thought I was on board with CJ, but we're on with Huggy. In the 6 laps 5 or 6 laps that there are still to go, that he does not allow Huggy or anyone else for that matter to catch up by more than a certain amount of time per lap. He can do that. Yeah, playing great. Rogue here is definitely suffering through this, and he's going to really be under attack right now. Actually, this is probably the race to watch right now from Cotton. Just being able to manage those tires. Rogue's tires are only 3 laps, as are Cotton's. And in truth, Rogue should be feeling pretty good. You can really see that dry line has formed now. The problem comes when you step off that dry line. It's gonna be really slippery. Almost to the point where if this track was fully dry, right, it had rain, that wet line is now almost akin to putting a tire on the grass. And DRS, he's going to have it right now again. Cotton is really putting the pressure on Rogue right now. Don't want to mess with the curbs. I know at the beginning of the race I said the curbs were okay to touch. Now they're not so much because they're still going to be a little bit damp. That's wet paint, right, on against bald tires, basically. So you want to be careful about that. They can catch you out if you don't manage your throttle very well on it. Rogue seems to be better in the twisty bits. Yeah, Cotton's definitely hungry, and he is definitely on the prowl. Now he's going to have DRS here coming up in about 5 seconds. Now, Just going to jump behind Rogue. Rogue gave him the outside. I don't know if that's the right way to go here, as Cotton gets it again, and Cotton takes it. It's kind of strange. That first corner is a corner where you want to defend from the outside, not so much from the inside. It's a little bit faster, so you can defend it really well from the outside. Rogue decided to go inside. I don't know if he meant to leave it inside, and that Cotton just jumped on it really fast and was able to take advantage and hold them out there. But yeah, you definitely didn't want to try to defend from inside on turn one. That's unfortunate for him. Rogue falling to Cotton back to P4. Not that he's in any danger of falling any further. As you can see, BXT is get 30 seconds back. Angry to BXT is another minute and 30 seconds back, and Rodriguez is a minute and 35 seconds, and then Rodriguez being a good 11 seconds back from Angry. Wow, CJ driving really dangerously, not in a bad way for his own self, being right up against the edge of that grass. The grass is still sopping wet. There's no dry in the grass, and you touch it, you're going around. It's all but guaranteed. Huggy Bear jumps up to within about 9 seconds. Cotton looking to close the gap. I don't think this is going to happen, though. Your best bet for a position change is right here. Okay, so now Rose is dealing with DRS. Went well too far back, played that very smart. Didn't have it. There was not even a reason to show. Cotton's nerves are nerves of steel anyways. That wasn't going to shake him. Not to mention these guys have been racing together for long enough to know whether or not the other would make some kind of crazy move trying to get a pass. And they both know that they wouldn't do that, not only to one another, but to anybody. So that wasn't going to happen. But what Rogue needs now is to be within 1 second, which he is, through the DRS detection zone. Which he is, or what have you. Now coming up on DRS, he's going to get it now. He's too far back, but Cotton is breaking the draft. Now, there again, DRS. I know that kind of seemed counterintuitive to what I said, or contradictory to what I just said, but the distance that they had between one another allowed Cotton to take the inside. So what Cotton was doing there is not so much defending the actual pass, but was breaking the slipstream that Rogue had on him. So he didn't get that little bit of boost, so that second DRS, he wasn't close enough to be able to make the pass there. Again, Rogue holding about the same amount of time, which is 6.5, 7 seconds. Oh, and the race is over, pretty much. I mean, everybody's going to be coming in now. And unfortunately for Rogue, he cannot get it back. That was a good race between the two of them in the end. So DXT just all alone out here, driving it home, taking care. At some point, went on 2 laps ago, went onto the soft tires. I think that was, unfortunately for him, it was just a little too late. Well, quite a bit too late. I'm surprised everybody jumped to the mediums. I believe a new, and it may be that they didn't have a new set of softs to go onto, but I'm certain a new set of softs would have made it to the end of the race. And that is it, guys. Race over. Again, mostly a race of attrition. Some of the front lighters as the game awards cotton. And there you go. CJ takes the race win, takes that top podium. On with the champagne for the guys, his teammate in P2. That's big points for the Alfa Romeo team. And Cotton in P3 for the Williams. Not so many penalties today. I'm surprised with it being as wet and the track being as slippery as it was throughout the entire race in both the dry and the wet. 5 drivers unable to finish, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Penfold not in the race today. Didn't get to compete. He is really good in the wet, so if he's watching this, he may be kicking himself a little bit. That may have been a really great missed opportunity for him, as like I said, he is really good in the wet. And so yeah, congratulations on a really good race, everybody. Plank also says very good race to you guys, so thank you for that, Plank. And no penalty place switches this week, like we had the last 2 weeks, so that's good and bad, as it is maybe a little bit less entertaining, but nonetheless, that's going to be it for this race, guys. I really want to thank everybody for coming, hanging out, or if you're watching this later, maybe you're in this race, or maybe it just happened that, you just happened upon this a bit later. Thank you either way for hanging out, watching, checking everybody out, checking the MSR out. Again, it is the MSR. That's Max Speed Racing. You can find them on Discord if you're looking to get into it. And you're on the Xbox, hit up Penfold. That's PENF0LDD on the Xbox, and he can get you all set up with that. And as you can see, man, the driving is fair. You know, accidents do happen. No denying that. But the driving in the league is fair. It's fun. Not gonna lie, I very much miss driving with the guys myself. Yeah. So, with that being said, we look forward to seeing you all next week. Next week is going to be. Oh, hold on a second. I got it. Belgium. No. I can't even think of the name of the. Oh my goodness, that's one of my favorite tracks. It's Spa, right? So join us for that. That's going to be a really interesting race. If there were two races I wish I was racing in with these guys, it would be the race at Spa next week and the race following that at Monza. Um, Two of my favorite tracks. I want to race. I would love to race Spa because I've learned how to race with a lot of these guys, and one big thing I know that I can do, especially with we've done it a couple times, is going through Eau Rouge side by side is normally thought to be impossible, right? But I can tell you for sure that Penfold and myself are able to do it and without touching and at full speed. So just for that thrill alone, I kind of wish I was racing in that race. But um, and then Monza is actually my favorite track. It's the track that I test any new car on. It's just flat out my favorite track. But yeah, so next week, Spa, you're gonna want to be there. But if you want to race, you can do that too. I'm looking at you, Plank. You Xbox having blah blah blah. Um, yeah, always room. Always a nice bunch of guys, fun, funny, and so yeah. Until next time, this has been Fauci, and you know me. I'm Ghost. Two fingers are peace.